Hi, everybody. Here, LorePerdomo, one more time with you. And today's Thursday. It's a Thursday, live Thursday. And um, we are going to talk about something that I really love, and it's hard money lending. And it's a different alternatives of how to get money to fund all your debts. So, as you may know, we are a national real estate with Mi Casa to Casa, and my name is Lore Perdomo. And this channel and this live, it's about education. So education, financial education, real estate education, how we can be better in what we are doing in terms of real estate. So I've been doing this for a little bit, for a few years, several years already. And during all these years, I learned a lot and I made a lot of mistakes. And so people didn't say things to me, so I just make mistakes over mistake. But little by little, I make my way to where we are right now. And I think it's time to share all this knowledge with you, and probably you will be not doing the same mistakes that we did in the past. So there is something that they say that you don't know what you don't know until you know it, right? And that happens to me. So it's time for you to know what you don't know. So probably you don't make all those mistakes. But yeah, so I have few people that are watching right now, and I know there are more people coming up. So just going to give a little bit of time before we dip into hard money. Um, as I mentioned the previous week, oh my gosh, um, they're replacing my roof right now in the middle of this time of the life. So if you hear that, is that they are actually putting the shingles in top of the roof. It's crazy, but yes, it's unbelievable. They really replace an entire roof in one day, sometimes 2 days, depending of the size of the house. But we are here in Central Florida, where hurricanes are part of our life. So roof damage is very, very common here. So it's our time right now to change our roof. So there you go. So let's talk about hard money. So basically, hard money are money that investors are willing to provide to other investors, like myself, like you, to fund deals. So I love leverage. That means using someone else's money to make our deals. Because when you provide minimal investment by use bank money or leverage money from someone else, your returns used to be higher. So that's why hard money start to play a big role in this process. For you, if you are thinking to fix and flip properties, or you are thinking to probably buy and hold rentals for long term, but you don't have the credentials that regular lenders or commercial lenders require to provide you money. So hard money is when start to make sense to you. Like everything in life, when the risk is higher, the interest rate is higher, and that's what it is with lending money and hard money, obviously. So let's say, for instance, traditional financing, that you need to provide all your income taxes, pay staff, a stable job, high credit, and that's why you have all the credentials. So your interest is very low. So that's great. But for some investors that they don't have all those credentials, so they need to go to this road that is hard money lending. Now, what the hard money are looking into a person. So let's start with they really care about who you are, who are the experience that you have, what other fleets or what other properties you have in the past or you currently have. So what's your story behind this new project? That's very important. Also, what kind of credit you have. So in today's market, they normally require 720 and plus. However, I actually spoke with one of our partners yesterday. They're offering Harmony with low as 680 FICO score, but probably the rate will not be the best. So I would suggest to be 720 and plus. Also, you need to have some money as a down payment, as a reserve. And this is very critical here, difference to the traditional real estate. Because with hard money, you need to have at least 20-25%. But depending on the project, they may ask you for 30-35%, even 40% down. Obviously, it comes with the risk of the project and also what kind of house you're planning to buy. So, but in reality, this is you as a person, but they are planning to lend the money in base of the business that in this case will be the property. So they are going to analyze the property more in terms of what kind of property you want to buy, what kind of rehab they need, of this property needs, and if you are looking to rent this property, what will be the cash flow that the property will provide you. So let's talk about a little bit more about this. And the reason why I like to be more into this is because most of our investors just look at the property with not as much as you need to, because you really need to break down in pieces the property and be sure that this property in reality is going to give you the profit that you are looking at after you resell it, or the cash flow appropriate for this kind of investment. And this is important because hard money lending is what they're going to look. They're not going to give you the money because they're going to give the money because the property. So the property needs to make sense. So they have two different products, and it's the short-term product and long-term product. So the short-term product will be for those who wants to fix and flip the property. Basically, they wanted to buy it, fix it, and then resell it for a profit. So that will be the short-term product, and it's for 1 year. Now, the requirements on this is most of the cases, they will give you 100% of the entire project, but obviously the project needs to make sense, means that after resell it, you need to make a profit. So they're going to give you a portion just to buy the property and a portion of the repairs that you need to make to the property. So what that means is that probably you will get 100% of this project, or you need to come out with 10%, 15% of the entire project. Now, when you are doing this, you really need to provide exact rehab analyze exactly what you are going to repair in the property, what you are going to fix, and make it with the real numbers. And the reason why is because they need to be sure that the property needs these repairs, and the numbers that you are telling them that will repairs value will be really made sense. You just not cannot provide some numbers without any support. And the reason also is because they will send inspector to verify that what you are proposing to make in this property is a reality. So if you say that you are going to, let's say, repair or replace the entire kitchen, and the kitchen between plumbing, cabinets, countertops, appliances is going to cost, let's say, $10,000. So this inspector is going there and verify that this is real value for this kind of property, and that's what the property really needs. So same thing for replumbing the house, or probably put a new roof, or whatever is the project that you're planning to do. So you really need to make sure that the numbers are there, because if not, they're not going to give you the money, and you're probably already in the process of purchasing this property. So now let's talk about the long term. It's basically for properties that you're planning to buy, fix, and rent, or they're ready to rent, so you don't need to fix them. For this kind of properties, they normally use a 5 years arm, 7 years arm, 10 years arm, or 30-year fixed rates. So basically, what the rates are in this kind of products are higher than regular conventional loan, as we explained before, and varies between 6% to 11%, depends of your experience, and also depends what you are looking to do. If it's a 5 years arm, means that it's 5-year fixed, but the 25 remaining years will be variable rates, or it will be 7 or 10 years. So 10-year fixed, and the remaining 20 years will be variable rates. So obviously, when you have the shortened period of time fixed, the rate will be lower than when you have a long-term fixed rate, like 30-year fixed rate, the rate will be way higher. Right now, in this environment, I will say for 30-year fixed rate on a rate term, for a product that you wanted to keep and hold as a rent. So the rate varies between 7 to 7.5 if you have a good credit. All right, so they basically have these products. So that would be 1 year. That would be for fix and flip. Again, depends of your experience. You can get between 8 to 12%, and it can be principal and interest payments, or it can be just interest payments. So it depends what you want. So if you want interest-only payments, obviously your payment will be lower than if you want principal and interest payments. So those are the two options that you have right there. What else? So we talk about already the products, who are hard money lender, and also what they look you as an investor. So let's talk about a little bit about the process. So as I always recommend to everybody, even first-time home buyers or investors, it's be sure that you've been pre-approval. So that's the first time. And again, we have partners with a lot of experience that take our clients and see what they wanted to do and provide that pre-approval. So if you're interested in this kind of products, just let me know, and I can guide you during this process. So that will be the first one. Second one will be sure you analyze the property. Again, make sure that the numbers made sense, because if the numbers does not make sense, the lender is not going to give you the money, and all this work, tremendously work, will end in nothing. So be sure the numbers make sense, the deal made sense. So don't push yourself to do something that doesn't really make any sense. The third step is just the loan process. Now, hard money process is a little different of the regular process, but they have very strict guidelines as well in terms of the property and the documentation that you need to provide. So be sure that you respond very quickly to do this, because anything can happen in this financial world. So it's very critical that we follow all the steps little by little, and obviously you have a mentor who guide you through the entire process. Now, you need to be understanding that there is going to be an inspection, as I mentioned before, and also it's going to be an appraisal. So this appraisal is a little different of the regular traditional lending, because what they're looking at is how much will be the property value after the repairs are done. So we say already that we are going to do these repairs to the property. So they are going to analyze if the property real value will be that we are suggesting after all those repairs are done. So it's very critical over there. But that's basically the most important things in the entire process, and obviously the numbers, as I mentioned before. So once we close this, once we wrap up the entire deal, we are ready to start all the work that we say that we are going to do. That's why everything needs to be consistent in this process. Now let's do the kitchen that we make an example before. So they are not going to give you all the money to do this kitchen renovation right away. This will be in rolls. So what that means is that the lender is going to send that inspector again to verify that what you say before it's done now, and now they can release this $10,000 to you to keep going with the project. That's why it's very important that you have you are very organized in this process, and also you have a good partner, like a good contractor, to help you to go through the entire process, or a good crew if you're doing by yourself all this job, that really are meeting the guidelines and also the timing, because everything is about time and everything is about money. So the longer the project, the higher the number of payments that you need to make, and the less money that you will be making at the end when you resell the house or when you secure a new tenant in the property. So be sure that you have a real good crew. You are partnering with a good professional that will help you to do this project in the timing matter, because again, everything is about money. So yeah, so that's basically what it is until you finish all this process. Harmony is very popular right now for investors. Again, I'm very familiar. I did few of those. I did flips. I do in flips as well as we talk. I have a good experience buying and holding properties. So this is basically one of the ways that we use to fund our money, and we have partners ready to help all our clients with all these projects. We are helping a lot of different clients, basically identifying the right properties that make sense to make all these projects, even fix and flip or the rental properties. So if you wanted to be part of this process and you wanted to receive our newsletters with properties that we already identified, please send us your complete name and email address, and we will put you in our list. And you normally receive these properties twice or three times per week. So that's for today's. Next week, we are going to talk about a different product that it's also tailored for investors, but it's completely different of the hard money lending. So be sure you are following us next Thursday at noon on YouTube and also in all social media. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There is a lot of different information, different classes that we follow for investors and for first-time home buyers who are looking to learn more about real estate. And this is about this channel, financial education about real estate. So one more time, my name is LorePerdomo with Mi Casa Tu Casa and National Real Estate, and we are here in Central Florida helping you to convert all those real estate dreams into reality. So give us a call. Our phone number here, phone number here is 407-913-9388. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click to the bell so you know when we have a new live in process and learn a little bit more. So see you next Thursday, and ciao, ciao. So, my God, these people in the roof is driving me crazy with the roof. So see ya next time.